Hello, hello. How are you? How are you? We're just going over we're gonna call these sessions just some informational types of sessions, verification, substantiation, evidence, and things like that that have actually been covered up for the public. All right, so we already came on and we gave you a video about CVS Health, Aetna Resources LLC. We told you about how there's a current case down there at Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Chris Brown presiding in the main case, which is a fake, bogus, frivolous interpleader to fake out the court and you, the public and taxpayers, voters, and any higher court or whatever, individuals out here like bad apple attorneys, bad for business, attempting to seize the property of someone without their consent, which is actually theft. So yeah, post the EEOC general release and MSA agreement. That charge is 532-2022-02705. Yeah, that's an Ohio nurse who actually was terminated from CVS Health, which is Aetna Resources LLC on pay stub. Yeah, and basically, it's a wrongful termination. I mean, you can make the judgment of that. They say they didn't do anything wrong, okay, but they went out there and they put this case in the public realm, so they wanted you to know everything about the history and what led up to the EEOC mediation, all that. They wanted you to know that because, of course, in order for you to understand and know why we're here, we're bringing the information and we're letting you know that there's actually a cover-up of theft and there's corruption, and someone's property of $15,028 was seized from them, where someone, CVS Health, and the resources, Alex Frondor, Richard Diageo, devised a plan to strategize a way to use their legalese and legal expertise to mask and trick and spin a narrative, tell half-truths, all the while knowing the whole truth, to cover their own ass in some unethical wrongdoings that they actually did during the EEOC mediation, that they actually want covered up so that they themselves don't have to take responsibility and be held accountable for their very own actions, right? So yeah, we're still waiting on the money, $15,028, that is actually our property that was stolen. Anytime you gain control over someone's property without their consent, whether it's expressed or implied, it's theft, okay? So yes, theft, and then depending on the amount, then we can get into if it's felony theft and in what degree and all that, right? So it's felony theft. But these people are free. Well, you would not be free. You would not. If you sold somebody's property, then you lied about it and filed a fake thing with the court, they would get you for fraud on the court and all kinds of stuff, right? But then what's in place for you, the laws and things like that is in place for you. That doesn't hold true for like bad apple attorneys or rogues and black robes, like judges and things like that. No, it doesn't. It's abuse of power. Okay. Just trying to utilize your position and your education credentials or whatever to participate in wrongdoings and fucking get away with it scot free. Yeah, you want to get away with it scot free. You want to get away scot free. But we'll just come and tell the public about it. We wasn't going to tell the public about it. Actually, they told the public about it, right, Edna? Yeah, they did. They went and filed a case in a people's court. That's your court. Okay. These are elected officials and shit like that representing the court. Okay. Judges. So Chris Brown ain't done shit on the case. No, he didn't. No, not even yet. I ruled on not one motion since November of 2022, honey. And here we are in August of 2023. That's how long they done stole that girl's money. Shut up. Who gonna get her money? CVS Health and the Resource LLC still has it in their hands and in their damn control. Yes, they do. It's not in the court registry. It's not in the trust account. It's not with a third party that's innocent and has no ownership or interest in it, right? Right. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but we don't know where the money is, and all these people need to be in jail now. Okay. So Just keep an eye on that case, okay? It's fraud on the court, and it's also felony theft, and it's a cover-up, and it's corruption. And the Ohio Disciplinary Council, the Supreme Court, they know about it too. Yeah, they know it. They know everything about it. We told them, and we also told the New Jersey Disciplinary Court too on Richard Diageo. So maybe they're conducting investigations all along. The nurse that was wrongfully terminated is getting ready to be kicked out on the street, and they never done nothing wrong. Okay? A whole autistic child to take care of a mentally ill son. She ain't never done shit. Okay, that's what they did to keep their foot on your neck and to harm you. All right, so this can happen to you. It can happen to your loved one and all that type of stuff. So you need to have the awareness. Okay, that's what we do. We come out here and we tell you what's going on, what we go through, but the way that we advocate, we're trying to advocate for everyone. So you have the awareness. We're trying to put things in place so that you'll know how to handle your particular situation, and hopefully the shit don't happen to you. Honestly, it's just a bunch of bull. Anyhow, on to the next. We talked about a case, 22CV3620. Karen Phipps revoked the rights of the plaintiff in that particular case. Okay. Hold on. Here you go. Come take your cup. Here you go. Go. Okay, yes, sorry about the interruption. I needed to get Pepper some water. But yeah, so this particular case is we talked about Judge Karen Phipps. She actually deprived the right under color of law. Yeah, that's a crime. A USC Title 18. Yeah, she took the liberty, the civil right, the human right, constitutional right from the plaintiff in 22 CV 3620, Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, so she's another one that actually spun a narrative of having provided half truths, knowing the whole damn truth, you know, telling partial shit, knowing everything, in efforts to what act in her own best interest, ensure like Michael Casson, who she went to Capital University Law School, but during the same tenure and all this type of stuff, got away with protecting the defendants who were his clients, Krishna Qualatata, and then his very own property management business people, all kind of Neo and his buddy Rob Grabach. Everybody told you Michael Casson, he went out on Google and he put a 5-star review on Rob Grabach's business page, telling all the other owners of the world out there to go ahead and hire All County New York portfolio because Rob ran a tight ship and all this type of shit. No, Rob runs a piece of shit. We already know that. Rob runs a piece of shit. Okay, Rob. But Rob, why the hell you sit up here and like Krishna Qualatata's ass con y'all too? So dumb, so stupid. Anyway, I told y'all long ago that the address is 2951 Pepperton Place, Brennisburg, Ohio 43068. Don't ever rent anything from Krishna Qualatata and or All County Neo portfolio. They absolutely did rent a whole piece of shit. Well, she said shackle bullshit. Now, what's his name? Rob Grabach of All County Neo portfolio. I don't know what type of properties he was renting out and what he was doing, or if he was a good landlord or whatever, making sure he was allowing people to move in rent-ready properties and stuff like that. He may have. But see, what he did, he allowed Krishna Qualatata to con him. Okay, Krishna Qualatata went and hired All County Neo in September of 2020, but he didn't give him all the info. He didn't tell him, listen, I'm a whole piece of shit. I'm a slumlord. I'm a con artist. I like to commit fraud and all this type of shit. And I got a whole scam going on. I live out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm an Indian man that came over here to America to con and scheme. And I act like I got a whole language barrier and all this type of shit. Act like I don't know any English. Like, what's that? I don't know. Oh, well, I thought I could trust you. Can I please more this and can I do this? Oh my God, I thought I could trust you. Like all this dumb shit, act like he don't know English. He knows English just fine. Okay. He sat up here and wrote that damn fake lie incident report into one of his insurance companies, Amazon or Liberty Mutual, didn't he? And he typed it out just good, didn't he? In English, didn't he? Yeah, the hell he did. He knows exactly what he doing. He conning and scheming and lying and shit like that. That man ain't a bit more step foot up here in no damn Columbus, Ohio, unless that was him that was stalking the tenants in 2951 Hubbardton Place, Williamsburg, Ohio 43068, in which the tenants had a whole good picture of them, okay? Whole good picture, but Karen Phipps made sure they never had the opportunity to show all their evidence that they had. Yes, she did, deprived of right, honey, after James Judge Green reopened up that damn case. I think the time records before 21 CVs ago 2711. Who the fuck she thinks she is, bitch? Okay, what? Mm-mm. How you just gonna override what the fuck Judge James Green said? Who you think you is? It because he's black? I mean, what's up with that? I mean, what's really going on here? Okay, you think your decision overrides his? Okay, what? Excuse me? Mm-hmm. Karen Phipps thinks she's something. She a true Karen. Karen gone wild. Karen in the black robe. Robe in the black robe. Karen gone wild. Robe in the black robe. Karen gone wild. Karen needs to be in jail out in Marysville, boo-boo. Okay. And getting her time and put her list together and shit like that, and get some Rippos and some motherfucking noodles and shit like that. Gonna make her some breaks or something. Yeah, getting the cheeses and everything like that. And put a little water in there, squeeze it, and make you some cheese sauce, bitch. Okay, I don't know, but we're gonna need to see her in the oranges. Okay, yes, okay, yes, absolutely. Okay, yeah. All right. So that's what she did. Deprivation of rights is an absolute crime. She did it. It's easy to see. It's easy to tell. Okay. They want somebody to not come out here and tell it. Like, you're just gonna keep on revoking people's rights and treating them like shit and harming them, stealing their property. Just damn, beating a motherfucker down that ain't done shit. The hell? It's bullshit. Well, we're gonna let it be known then. It's all true. It's all accurate. It's not slander. It's not libel. It's not shit. Okay, Karen Phipps ain't gonna come on here and rebut the shit damn thing I said. She damn sure ain't. Okay, she ain't gonna do nothing but have somebody call YouTube try to get my shit taken down. They already tried that on 2 of my shorts and it didn't work. Okay. Yeah, so then YouTube can outreach me at any point in time if they feel the need, and I can give them all the shit I got. Okay, I got more than what I'm even showing on here. I got everything. Okay, how about that, boo? Okay, all this I'm getting ready to show you now is actually, it goes with the 2951 Hubbardton Place, Reynoldsburg, Ohio 43068. All right, this everything's been turned into 311.gov. All right. 311.gov. All right. Todd Diller is somebody who worked at that place. He's since retired or whatever. Okay. So there's another lady. Her name is Christina Conrad. She also worked there. She was the code enforcement person that came out and did the inspection and everything. She was also the individual that provided us this. Okay. All right. Yeah. He doesn't live here anymore, so it doesn't matter if you have that address. He doesn't live here anymore. This is all county, property management's address, doesn't matter. All right. All right. So anyhow, this is the paperwork, the retaliatory shit that the city gives you. Okay. 311, let's go through here saying that they got it and they forwarded it to Todd Diller. Okay. See what else is in here. Yeah, so there was a time, back when, see, what's the name? It was during COVID, right? And I tell everybody, I said, look, these motherfuckers are sitting up here trying to maliciously deceive the court. I say the same shit. I mean, everybody knows all this stuff. Nobody that intervenes and does shit about it, right? But anyhow, so the rental thing took place May of 2020, right? And then the whole rent was paid, the entire contract, and 2 lump sum payments. By the time All County Neo came on board, all the rent, everything had already been paid. All right. So, and what Bishop Palatana didn't tell All County Neo, obviously, is all the shit that was going on, that he already had started a case down there with the city of Columbus with concerns about him upholding his duty and obligations as a landlord, right? But during that time, you couldn't come in the home because of COVID, all right? All this stuff is easily verifiable. We don't need to go back into the details of this. If you're interested, you go back and look at the other video. I'm just going to show you some of the stuff. I had a video on there where I showed you this one already. This is him. And here's a man who sit up here talking, acting like he can't speak no damn English. He damn sure wrote this pretty good. Just don't tell the insurance company that it's been leaking for a long time. Otherwise, they might not cover the floor damage. Please, thank you. Talk to you later. This is just individuals saying, hey, I mean, what's up with this? I'm using my own towels and blankets to clean this up. This is the floor. This is All County Neo portfolio. We have to have you see our case because Karen Fish revoked the right for the tenants to gain remedy for their harms in this particular matter in Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Columbus, Ohio, 22CB3620. Yes, she did. Okay, all these pictures and everything. Everybody knows the city of Columbus. We sent them down into the mayor's office. We don't know if he got them personally, but they do exist. The office has them. Everybody and the mama has it. Okay, so this is moved in, right? But it was so funky and nasty in the refrigerator, it just smelled like death. We're like, this has got to be what they're talking about when they say it stinks, it smells so bad, right? Place smell the death. People say that like, that's what they had to be talking. That brown shit right here, that came out of the refrigerator. So the refrigerator had to be moved from here. So that goes to tell you that this man, Christopher Quadatata, didn't even finish off the floor. He just put a refrigerator right there and left this bullshit in there, okay? You see what I'm talking about? Look at all this shit. You could never get this up. I don't care how you scrubbed or none of that, okay? I don't care how you scrub these walls, these baseboards. You could never get that shit up. My granddaughter's knees and legs stayed so black when she was just a baby, just crawling around and stuff, all right? Yeah, look at that, look at that. And when the man was rolling that refrigerator out, he was just like gagging. I mean, this shit was making us literally sick, okay? Okay. So this was in February. Somebody's asking, like, yeah. So they tried to say that they never did offer a renewal of the lease. Okay. So this is how dumb they are. What they did was they did offer to renew the lease, and they also knew there was a housing crisis and all that type of stuff going on during COVID. Nobody could find anything. They absolutely did offer to renew the lease and everything. But what they did, they said, oh, shit, we ain't fixing all this. This is too much. We ain't about to do all this. No way, Jose. Not with them in there. They gonna complain and everything. They got a wild haircut. They got pissed. So then they deactivated the portal. All right. So people understand that really does happen. Retaliation does happen. All right. All right. All right. What else? Let's see. This is just back and forth. Oh, this is just telling the city code people. And this is to Tiara Ross. She was a city assistant, city zone prosecutor at that time. She's the one who said that she had the retaliation case and she had to put it on hold because someone was challenging the city ordinance at that particular time for landlord tenant retaliation with the city could come in and do something about it. So that went to her, just letting her know she never was responding, saying anything. This was somebody at the this mediation. I don't know what that was, honestly. Let's see. Maybe we forwarded it to them. I don't know. So, yeah, so this is just telling them that that address, they haven't done anything to address the code violation. They were post 30 days overdue, and that was deliberate, right? So the city, after I kept bugging them and having to put it on public record, of course they have to act. So that's when they brought the case, the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, EVH 060439. And then there was an attorney on that case named Chris Clark. He was saying, oh, this particular case that we have doesn't have anything to do with your retaliation case. No, yes, it does, Chris Clark. It has everything to do with it. All right, because you wouldn't even have that case point blank period if the tenant didn't exercise their right to complain to a governmental agency about condition dwellings, okay, where they are not supposed to face any type of landlord retaliation post participation in that particular right, okay? So code violations and everything like that were issued post those complaints, the tenant exercising their right to do that. And then Tara Ross knows, everybody knows that retaliation actually is taking place. So the case that you brought against them does matter, and it is linked to the retaliation because it shows that code violations were ignored by the city. So why else would the city need to file a case in Franklin County Municipal Court EVH 060439? It's because of this. They did not listen to what the code violations were. They were over 30 days past due. Okay. And they were continuing to retaliate to say, we're going to have them out of here. We're not fixing shit. Okay. Pretty much. All right. So you already seen that one. Okay. What's this one? This was just telling the guy, Krishna, hey, remember May? May 2020. This was before September. So all County Neo isn't privy to this information because they weren't hired yet. They don't know shit. Okay. But later they were advised of it. Later they were advised of everything and they chose to ignore it. And they chose to keep this person as their their client though, didn't they? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Now, why wouldn't they drop him at the drop of a hat and say, oh, no, we cannot participate in this. You get ready to tarnish our name and tarnish our reputation. It's because they're bad people too. Obviously. But anyhow, and they probably said, fuck it, all the rent should have been paid. You know what I mean? So Krishna Qualitata says, thank you for the update. If he took care of it, that's really great. Maybe they have signed, he meant assign a different person for that job, but don't tell him. See, he's just a whole liar, but he knows exactly what he's doing. Why don't you want to tell him and stuff like that? Like, why are you keeping these secret? Why are you trying to play and shit like that? If he able to fix it, that's great. Because if another person come, we have to give him another $65 for the visit. Every visit, $65. And I mean, get out the real estate business where you renting now if you can't afford this shit. Okay. This is where the cabinet came fully away from this ceiling piece here or this wall or whatever. Now, Krishna, oh no, what's her name? I had to outreach Christina Conrad. She did jump right on this and she called the property management people and told them y'all better get out there and get that because I said this fall on my granddaughter. That's y'all's ass. And y'all already know that all this is going on here. So here we go here. This is where I told you that we could have blew up, right? So improper combustion. This is where Columbia Gas came out on September 21 of 2020. The water, hot water tank had rolling flames on the burner. All right, so that's fed by a gas line. I mean, could you imagine had that gas just sparked or whatever and hit the gas line, boom, dead and gone, right? Yeah, that just happened. So this is what I'm saying about the unsafe and inhabitable conditions at 2951 Hubbardton Place, Reynoldsburg, Ohio, 43060. Krishna Qualitata, owner, All County Neo Property Management. Yeah, and this is what they covered up. And this is what they allowed to a family that did nothing other than pay their rent, not violate any aspect of the lease. Yeah, and they sat right there in front of Judge James Green after the case was reopened and reheard, and Judge James Green dismissed the counterclaim that the tenants had brought against them with prejudice, noting to the tenants to go ahead and refile over in common pleas. All right, so Karen Phibbs knows all of this, knew all of this, and anybody should be able to get the public records, which if you go and try to type it in and look at it, of course, they probably sealed them and hurried up and erased it, so nobody has any proof. But anybody doing a genuine investigation will most definitely be able to see exactly what's being said here. It is true, it is accurate, point blank period. And you can go ahead and request a public records as well. You can. And you can see for yourself also. Okay, so this is what's going on. This is what your public officials are actually doing that you're electing. They're violating rights. They're covering up fraud. And the very thing that they're acting like they're advocating for, like housing prices, landlord retaliation, prohibition, protections for tenants and things like that. You know, it's just not true. Exactly, you know, what are they doing really? I don't know. It wasn't true in this particular case. And we were severely harmed. And in fact, our entire right to ever talk about and bring this case again has been revoked. How do you give a summary judgment, a harsh summary judgment in favor of defendants? Well, you can do that when you're biased and when it's your buddy pal who you went to school with, and you know you don't want it to be revealed. And then we also did turn Karen Phibbs in, remember, to the disciplinary board, so she's got her own retaliatory tactics. And, you know, that's all inclusive in this particular case as well. Yeah, we're waiting on her to go to jail. Somebody gonna speak up and speak out and do something about it. So that, you know, nobody is. So that's why we have to go ahead and go to social media and go to YouTube so everybody has the awareness. It's the only court that we have. That's all we can do. Nobody's giving us 1 red cent, 1 dime, pay rent, do nothing. Make sure we're okay, not shit. But that's okay, right? We're just gonna do what the Lord has us do out here. And we damn sure don't ever want this to happen to anybody else. And I mean it. This is horrible, but it's okay. This is where the dumbass person who worked for Rob Box, goofy ass. This what their dumb ass did. He's so stupid. This boy's name was Bob or some shit. He sat up here. We asked him, look, I mean, you can see something. We said, hey, can you give us a call when you're on your way? Because we need the filters and stuff like that changed in the furnace. Now, we couldn't change them ourselves. We don't have a complication with that. It really is your property management's responsibility to change those. But we never have no problem with that. Who cares about that? That ain't nothing. But this particular furnace, it took a technician to do it. So this Dumbo thought he was just going to come over and put the filters in or whatever. It's not like that. Then he lied to the Ohio Attorney General's office. You should be able to get a public record of that too. So I've already created a whole database for people in Columbus, Ohio that they never even knew. Okay, because we had to build it up after a while. They're living in these places and it's a million slumlords. We had to build it up. So I would say it's a pretty good database of slumlords. Landlords and slumlords are not the same. Understand that, okay? My current landlord is an awesome landlord, okay? Very understanding of the current situation, trying to give time, and things like that for us to figure something out. You know, trying to be patient, but I mean, you know, people can only be so patient. I mean, who knows what type of bills the man has on his end and stuff like that. He's very compassionate. He even gave me a chance to move in here after he gained all of the insight and awareness about what was going on and seeing that we were not lying. Very, very compassionate landlord. All right. Yeah. So, and we pay our rent, we pay it on time, and he knows that, and he knows there's got to be some bullshit going on. But you know, anyhow, this dummy right here, Bob was his name. He sat up here and inadvertently sent this thinking he was responding back to somebody over there, All County Nia, just because we asked, say, hey, I'm not home today, and your entity needs to schedule it in advance to stop last minute sending unknowns to the unit and giving out my number without authorization. All right, number one. Number two, hi, I would appreciate a call or text when you're on your way to change the filter. All right. He said, this lady is nuts. And he replied that right back to the tenant. And no, you're nuts. You're the whole space cadet, doesn't you? Okay, why would you do that? And but then he told Ohio Attorney General in response when they did try to you know, mediate the dispute and all this type of stuff, and he actually left the filters at the front door. He's a liar. First of all, you know, he didn't even know what size or nothing because it actually took a technician to come in and change the filter. That's the type of furnace that it was. Okay, so this is how they all are liars. All right, and demons and devils, and that's just what they do. And they all need investigated. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, going back real quick to let you know, if you live in Columbus, Ohio, we have actually pretty much developed a database system of slumlords for you, all right? So what you need to do, request public records from Ohio Attorney General, any slumlord that we've ever had, or we've turned them in there. Request public records from 301.gov, any slumlord that we've ever had, we've reported them there. And if they've ever been issued code violations, you know, so that you will be able to see all of that. We detail everything. We quote, we document every single little thing. We'll put on there that this guy, Bob, said, quote, this lady nuts. We'll put all of that in there in quote. We'll say that, you know, Bob is popping up over here unannounced, looking like a whole clown, leprechaun back in the hood, you know, ass and shit like that. We put it all in there, okay? Okay? Yeah. And we put them on tabs like, what y'all gonna do about it? Go read all of them, okay? So what you need to do, this is the how to look up a slumlord in Columbus, Ohio. All right, what you need to do, go to Ohio Attorney General. You need to utilize the public request for the address itself, okay? If the person is renting to you as an individual, or if the person is renting to you under an LLC, like an investment group or something like that. Lots of times people won't rent individually so that you can't touch their own personal assets. All right, if you go and you sue them and shit. All right. So, for example, All County New York portfolio. you know, is an actual business. You can sue the business. I can't just go and file something against Rob Bach, who owns the business, or whoever's owning it. I don't know. We don't need to. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, go put them on and put the individual name in if they're renting to you under that. Put the LLC put the property management, everything will come up. Or that's what you request, okay? Now, I can't speak for Ohio Attorney General if there's a fee associated with it, but I can tell you with 311.gov, that's another place that you'll outreach and you'll ask for the public records. They don't charge. Now, maybe after so many copies of something, then maybe, I don't know, but there's over 29 plus public records with the city of Columbus, 311.gov, and there's emails, there's all kinds of evidence. There's actual public record, and it's in detail. Sit down, Pepper. You're not going in. All right, it's detailed. Well, I don't want him in here. Stay out here right now. We out here chilling. Come on. Stay out here. I got your water. I already gave him some sausage, so he got that something to eat. Sit down. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I'll try to get back to 311.gov. So that's another place. That's a resource for you. It's actually a database of slumlords there. Anybody that has crossed our paths that have provided less than rent ready or put us in position where it's unsafe and inhabitable, we've absolutely documented it and ensured it was on public record for you. All right, there you go. All right, and I would encourage you as well, if you ever go through, excuse me, something similar, that you do the same. All right, and all it does, it is an awareness for other people, and it can protect other tenants and stuff like that, because there isn't anything out there that can serve as a database for tenants to go and look to see how you know, and kind of rate a landlord. Okay, are you a slumlord or are you a landlord? And there is a difference, but what your landlord will do, they absolutely will go and look you up on public record. They will check all the court files and stuff like that and see if you have an eviction, aren't they? Are they going to do that? Yeah, they are. So you can do it too if you're in Columbus, Ohio, because there's a plethora of slumlords. There's a lady right now down there at Franklin County Court of Common Pleas that entered into a legal binding contract, lease contractual agreement, where she, Yvonne Dyer, landlord, all up and throughout the lease contractual agreement, but yet she went and by and through her attorney noted to the court that she's not a landlord at all, in fact, and that she doesn't own the property. No, she doesn't own the property, but we end up finding out who owned the property, because let me tell you, that's why you got to get on the phone, you got to call people, you got to seek out the free consultations and all that type of stuff. We actually, we had a free consultation anyways with legal aid on both of the matters. So with Yvonne Dyer and then also Krishna Quadatata, because we had somewhere to go, and then Yvonne Dyer took advantage of the vulnerable situation of a housing crisis and really just tried to you know, stick it to us because we were in a vulnerable position. People will do that as well. All right. So first she said, well, it's gonna be $1,300 a month. And she said, oh, that's not sitting right in my spirit. People will use God and their spirit and all this type of stuff, but they're really a demon, they're devil. I don't know what God they're serving. When they find out like, oh, she's making a lot of money or whatever, she's actually a nurse. Oh, well, let's take advantage. Okay, we know she really needs somewhere to live. You know what? It wasn't sitting right in my spirit. I said, you know what? I will have to charge, instead of $1,300, I'm gonna have to charge you $1,400. No, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to charge you $1,450 because I'm gonna go ahead and get home insurance on there, and I'm gonna have you pay half of the home insurance. I'm gonna get it through Amazon, and we'll split the cost on that. You know, all that type of bullshit, and that's really not what you're supposed to be doing. It's not the tenant responsibility to pay for your home insurance and shit like that. Yeah, but that's what she was doing. And her place is at, I think it's 1774 or 1744 Vital Week, Columbus, Ohio 43205. It's a she shed shackle bullshit. And I think I told you before, actually, these individuals had rolled, it's in a gangbanging neighborhood. They had rolled around the back and shot up the whole place, and they rolled around the front and shot up the whole place because it was alleged that the tenant's daughter was participating in some type of whatever, I don't know, argument or beef with some people, and they came in and shot the place up. So we had bullet holes everywhere and all that. Now, Yvonne Dyer did outreach and say, listen, I just want to let you know the place got shot up and everything. It came up on Shot Spotter in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus police detectives is going by the house and leaving their cards and stuff like that, you know, because they believe it was the teenage daughter was out front having a party while her mother's at work and all this type of shit. Oh my God, it's just like, oh my God, this is an unsafe place. Okay, so this lady is supposed to be moving out, but how do we know that the gangbangers are going to roll back around and, you know, come back through and bullet riddle up the motherfucker again? I mean, how do we know that? Okay, we're just trying to live in peace. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so then we go down there. This is a whole nother thing. It's a whole case. These are slumlords. I'm telling you, it's a bunch of them. So then we go down there, and she's a liar. She's a fraudster. This woman is up here and told the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas that she's not a landlord, she's not the owner, and all this. But then on her actual lease contractual agreement, she did represent herself as no agent to some type of LLC or a company. She said she was a landlord. In her email, when she so-called called herself terminating a damn lease in a damn email, she said that she was a seasoned landlord. I'm a seasoned landlord. Well, take your seasoned French fry head ass on, get the fuck on up out of here, then, with your unsafe and habitable bullshit. That's what they don't like. Okay, people, they don't like when you stand up for yourself. Say, hey, what the fuck's going on here? Okay. You don't take these blinds and all this shit down when we move in here, because they're all yellow and soaked with cigarette smoke and everything like that and soot. Oh, she don't smoke. That tenant who live in there don't smoke, but yet she forgot, Yvonne Dyer did, that we went down there and we met her at the place. The tenant was at work. Okay, come to find out later, the tenant, in researching and finding the tenant and talking to the damn tenant, the tenant sits up here and tells us she didn't authorize her to let nobody in her place. And this is what Yvonne Dyer did. She sat up here and she's like, you think I should call her? Because she at work. And because like technically she still, like lives here. Okay. What do you think we said? We said, yes, absolutely. Give her a call. Yeah, absolutely. So Yvonne Dyer walks over there close to where her husband was, sitting in the car, acting like she on the fucking phone, acting and playing. These was actors, okay? Tyler Perry, you got a movie for these motherfuckers, okay? You got a movie role for them? You casting anybody yet, bitch? I mean, what's up, okay? Ciao, bye. Anyhow, then she walks back over. She's like, okay, y'all can just help me go ahead and carry this paint in. All right. So we end up getting an opportunity to walk in the place. So the woman still lives in there and everything, but you get to see there's already some things in there that you can start to question. All right. So let's ask about these blinds. Are they going to come down? Because we've already lived in a place where we had to take down dirty blinds and leftover tenant items and things like that. We got bit by spiders and all this kind of stuff. And it actually causes to have cellulitis, and it's just all kinds of stuff. These people are wrongdoers. They're not good people. In fact, they're slumlords. They're not landlords. So anyhow, we're seeing the cigarette smoke bill blind. We've seen an ashtray full of all kinds of cigarettes and shit like that, but we're not there to judge the lady and how she living. That's her environment, that's her shit. Okay. But when we bring it to Yvonne Dyer's attention, say, are you able to take those blinds down? Because I got bit before, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave that up there for you to do when you got in there. Like, I can't do that. That's not for me to do when I'm paying a deposit. Actually, Columbus Urban League paid her $5,400 for us to move in there. They paid first, last, and deposit. They paid it by ACH bank attachment to her bank because they have a program where they will try to find you housing stabilization, but you have to search and you have to find a landlord that's willing to take third party payment. And they have a lot of check safes in place. All right. They actually, you cannot trick them. You cannot lie. They want to know what's really going on. You have to tell them your story. You really do have to tell them everything. So I had to tell a lady over at Columbus Urban League what was going on with this particular case at 2951 Hubbardton. I say, this is what the landlord is doing. It's retaliation. I had to tell her all about Tamira Ross. I had to tell her about the city, the code violations, I'm not doing anything. Krishna Qualitata, all kind of Neil. She had to know about Michael's son and what he was doing, his threats and his coercions, all of that. She had to know about the court cases. She had to know that we had paid everything up. We had to send her all the evidence and all of that. in order for them to decide whether or not they wanted to even allocate any money. All right. And part of the requirement for Columbus Urban League is that you find your landlord, but you already have a lease agreement in place. Okay. And then what they do, they take it a step further. They contact the landlord. Okay. So a lady named Alternetta Leitner from Columbus Urban League, she actually did outreach and speak with Yvonne Dyer. And Yvonne Dyer validated that she actually was the landlord. She was renting the property. She never once said that she wasn't a landlord, she wasn't an owner, or that she's an agent or entity or anything like that. Okay, so this is how people lie. Well, we ended up finding out from an attorney, we won't mention his name because he gave us great information and insight on the real deal that's going on with some of his colleagues. He said that he's like, all right, you got a little bit more work to do. He said, now I could take the case, but taking the case over there in common pleas is going to cost at least $7,000. We don't have that kind of money. We're in a crisis. So he said, but what I will tell you, all right, you got some more work to do. He said, first of all, are you trying to what you trying to do? He said, you trying to get her on, breach a contract, or I mean, what exactly are you trying to do? Or fraud. All right, and trying to get her on fraud. So he's giving the tools and tips of education right there. He said, what I would do, I'd go and I'll find out who owned the place. All right. So he just gave the tip. He opened the door. I still had to do the research. So I'll call the Franklin County Recorder or the auditor's office or one of them. I think I looked it up on the auditor's site to get the name, and then I contacted the recorder's office or something like that, and I got the actual deed. They emailed it to me. And so on the actual deed, that's what tells you who's the owner of the parcel, right? And it was Court Investment Group, okay? But then when you go to the Secretary of State, I'm giving you all this information, all these tips. You probably should be writing notes, because everything I'm telling you, these are resources that you can utilize when you're doing your own research and investigation on a potential landlord, okay? These, you need to verify everything that's going on. There's a lot of scams going on. It's a lot of bullshit. All right, so the Secretary of State, you go look up who owns a particular business entity if someone is renting a property under a business entity. The recorder's office, go see who holds the deed to this place. The auditor's office, just go and look up, you can look up the history of the home and all this type of stuff, what it sold for, all kinds of shit. Okay, go and look it up, and make everything make sense. Okay, so that's what we did. He gave us that tidbit of information. That's the same attorney that told us about Michael Casson, how Michael Casson's in cahoots with everybody down there at the magistrate office. So Michael Casson needs to know that somebody's down there watching his ass. They already know, one of his colleagues. And there's other people out there watching you too, Michael Casson. They already been in our inbox and tell us all kinds of shit. He's associated with Willis Law Firm and TNR Properties and a whole bunch of bullshit. And they do wrongdoings now, allegedly. Okay, we got people to come in and tell us. And then what they do is they get out here, if they find you on social media, they send letters and threaten the people to take it down and all this type of bullshit, because they don't want it to be known, instead of coming on defending themselves, since they're so right and they're so perfect and they uphold the law and they're doing all this. Yeah, they're never going to do that. Nothing I ever say can be refuted or rebutted. It can't be. All right, and they have no evidence, and they're pissed that I have all the evidence. So the only thing that you can do is revoke my right to try to silence me, and then that's it. That's the only thing you can do. But thank God for social media, right? Thank God for the public and public opinion, right? So you can go and you make your own opinion, you decide. Hey, I ain't trying to steer you on one way or another. What I'm gonna show you what I got. And you can figure it out. What do you think? What do you think? You want to vote for him again? Any other attorneys out there embarrassed at with their colleagues and shit like that out here though? You should be. There's the Bar Association, Columbus Bar Association, American Bar Association, and whoever the hell that issue these people licensure and stuff like that, trusting that they're upholding the law and the judicial system and all this type of stuff. Are you happy with what you're seeing? What the product is? Capital University Law School. You happy? You happy? I went to Capital University Law School for legal nurse consulting and life care planning, and I will tell you this is not what that school represents, not at all, and neither and their facilitators that are mostly attorneys. This is not what they represent. All right, they should be very, very, very embarrassed, humiliated, and should not want these people associated with them. Okay, but it is what it is, whatever. Okay, so let's just go back to Yvonne Dyer. Okay, Yvonne Dyer told the court that she's not a landlord and that she is not the owner of the place, but yet she drafted up that contract, and it's nothing but Yvonne Dyer, landlord, all throughout. And she signed her own John Hancock, and she got on the phone with Urban League Alternetta Leitner, and she told her she was a landlord, and she sent over her W-9. She sent over every damn thing that she needed to give them. The Merritt County Department, Irene Scott, sent over the payment on June the 15th of 2021 to Yvonne Dyer's bank account by ACH bank attachment. So she had the $5,400 because there was a lease in place. Okay, so it was a lease in place. She had been paid. It was a done deal. That's a legal binding contract. All right. And the Ohio Attorney General's office actually has a record of this, and they replied to let us know that they don't intervene on it. However, they will actually document this as poor business practices, and they also gave the recommendation to report Yvonne Dyer actually to the FBI because the practices that I was telling them about were illegal on an international level, and that is what they said. Okay, and so we reported, we don't know what happened. We also reported her to Job and Family Services because what she was doing with the alternate tenant that lived in there, the tenant told us. The tenant stated that she was utilizing PRC funds. She also was utilizing the impact weatherization funds, which is okay to utilize their funds as a tenant. The tenant can utilize impact weatherization. It's for energy saving and stuff like that. So you can utilize that. But why are you over there using it, Yvonne? You don't have any association with the property. You didn't illustrate anywhere that you were an agent of any type of entity over that property. You didn't illustrate in the contractual agreement that you weren't a landlord. You said you were the landlord. Okay, so why are you trying to get funds? Why is PRC paying you back rental payments for this particular former tenant that you have? Why is PRC still, at the time when the tenant was going to move out, the tenant was getting ready to get a check from PRC for Yvonne Dyer for like $600. So we have that tenant on the witness disclosure list. Okay, this case is still pending also in Franklin County Court of Common Pleas. Yeah, so that witness, we have her number, we have her name. And she also stated that after Yvonne Dyer had been turned in, that Yvonne Dyer started harassing her and sending her messages and trying to get her to not participate or not tell us anything and all this type of shit. But anyway, so Yvonne Dyer, honey, she sat up here and said, the tenants was responsible for the air conditioner that the old tenant left, right? So we said, okay, well, have you tested it to ensure that it's operable? We definitely do not want to take over the responsibility of a prior air conditioner being left in a unit and it's not operable, and then we're responsible for it. I mean, just questions that anybody with a reasonable mind would ask. Okay, we asked like, so can you ensure that the carpet upstairs is clean? Because that was the only area that had a carpet when we move in. Landlords are to clean carpet or remove it and provide fresh paint. Okay, she wasn't willing to do it. She was going to have someone named Nate come over there and do the painting, but she was not willing to have him clean the carpet. She said, oh, you can do that yourself. You can go to Kroger and rent one for $75. Like, that's not how things go. Do you see the red flags with Yvonne Dyer? Do you see what she does? Do you see what these people do and they get away with? In the contract, it said that the place came with a dryer. But after the contract was signed and Urban League had paid her, then it's kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, there's not going to be no dryer there. Oh yeah, by the way, this and the other. I mean, just making up shit. Okay. All right. By the way, you guys can only use one ply toilet paper because of the septic system. I mean, who the fuck does she think this is Yvonne Dyer, honey? What? Oh my God. Who tells you what toilet paper you could use? You see how crazy people are here in Columbus, Ohio? They're the space cadet reptilian head as cornball, funky dog head as bitches. Out here renting these she shack hole bullshit. They doing quick flips on these 10-cent motherfucking shacks and shit like that out here. And wanting to charge you $15,000 a month for the bullshit that's getting ready to fall apart. It's unsafe, it's inhabitable, it's putting motherfuckers' lives at risk and shit like that. Now, the tenant already told us when we went in there, when we didn't have fucking permission, but Yvonne let us in the tenant's home. Shit. She had that man Nate that she done found on the side of the road, the corner or some shit like that, paying him 2 cents a cheeseburger on fucking Tuesday to do some shit. The local crackhead or something. No shade, Nate, but we know how it goes. Okay. And she up here telling him, I'll give you $20 and a happy meal if you go over there and act like, or let me put your name on there, have some property management so it look good. You know the fake shit. Get out of here, honey. Honey, look, okay. We know about this. Okay, we come from the hood. The hood been good to us. The hood been good to us. We just went and got educated, boo. Okay, but you can't pull one over us. Okay, that's why we know how to serve the vulnerable populations of people out there. Okay, because we was in the vulnerable population. We're back in that vulnerable population because of the shit that these wrongdoers keep doing. Okay, that's why the vulnerable population of people in the community and everything love us so much, because they know we understand. Okay, we done been there, done that. We can truly empathize and put ourselves in your shoes and what the fuck going down. And we're not gonna let you keep being abused, baby. No, we're not. We're gonna go ahead and advocate for it. We don't went out here, we done got educated and everything like that. And we're gonna help you. And God, we can't be your lawyer and all that, but we can give you some tools and tips of education. That's what we're doing. We're doing it right now. Okay. So anyhow, Yvonne Dyer's ass and that damn Nate in there trying to so-called fix that girl's oven. He in there don't know what the hell he doing. The tenant done sat up here and said that oven ain't never worked because the Yvonne Dyer, the electric amps couldn't hold the wattage of the shit, so it kept blowing all the damn time. You see what I'm saying? It was missing cabinets. You could tell where something was going on with the plumbing, because the part where the plumber contractor people come, they take that part off to get to where all the pipes and stuff are. That was on the floor. The girl ended up saying, she said, "Oh yeah, that's because the pipes had frozen and they busted and got all over everything, and she wouldn't help us, and she wouldn't pay and all that." Okay, so the tenants go downstairs and they looking. The tenants go downstairs and they look at, it's 15 million flies on the window down there. We're like, "Oh, what's going on?" And it stinks. It stinks really bad in the basement. We're like, "It's weird. It smells like mildew and shit mixed." Like, She's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what that is. We're gonna get a dehumidifier down here to get that." Well, the tenant ended up telling us later that what it really was is something's going on with the septic tank, and doo-doo and piss and pee backs up into the basement. And she said, "Girl, don't you put nothing down there in that basement, because doo-doo and everything gonna get on it. All right, so don't do that." And she will not cover it because it already having doo-doo backs up down there and everything. It's so nasty, it's so disgusting. I said, "That's why them flies was in there with us." She said, "That's why. Here go Yvonne Dyer." I said, "Well, look, what's up with all these flies right here?" "Oh, girl, that's because she be leaving the screen door open. You see how they play?" She's so things she done. I should have known something wrong with her ass when I seen her fucking eyebrows. Bitch, get out my face, okay? Yvonne, you need to quit. Sad thing is, Yvonne Byers, it's our blood cousin, boo. Okay? That's why I tell you, family ain't shit. She's our blood cousin. Your family do some bullshit to you too, and take advantage, okay? We don't know. She ain't our damn cousin, okay? Somebody must have found her up under a cabbage patch somewhere and said, "Oh, look, it's a baby. Oh, somebody threw her in trash. Let's get her. We'll take care of her." I mean, who knows? Who does that type of shit? Our family unit, my grandmother didn't raise us to be that way. Okay, so I don't know who raised her ass. I mean, I don't really know. But they talk shit about their family unit part within our family anyway. They all say, they be conning and stealing and scheming and putting in fake insurance claims and making up shit and lying and doing all this fraud. And they say they all do that. I don't know. That's what the family be talking about each other behind their back and shit. That's why we don't fuck with them, half of it. Get out our face. We ain't got time for it, okay? Anyhow, that's what she did, but shut up. Lying ass. All right, so anyhow, she got several properties and she's so-called landlord. But the old tenant told me she lost a couple of her properties or something like that. So ain't no telling what's going on. But anyway, she need investigated for investments or whatever need investigated. We end up finding out that they was the true owner, but she is the agent of that. It's with the Secretary of State. Okay, she owns that business. All right, that's not how she represented the rental property. If you're written under your business, that's what you need to have on your actual document. It should say Court Investments as the landlord, all right? And then she could have signed it as the agent for them, but she should have signed it as agent, okay? She didn't do that, all right? That's not what it is. She's just trying to clean it up and backtrack and mask the shit and make it look a certain way in the court, stuff like they all do, all right? But anyhow, she said she went to clean that carpet up there and whatever, and no, she's not going to check and see if that air conditioner is operable that old tenant left in there. So we just supposed to take responsibility for that? Oh my God, talk about try to take advantage. Well, to ask her about all these types of things, like, and she said, "Oh, that girl, she don't even smoke, so you can take those blinds." I'm like, "No, she does smoke. Remember when you let us in there? If she don't smoke, somebody does the whole ashtray full of cigarettes. Somebody does. Those are smoke-filled blinds there." It's about being fair, doing what's right for the right reason. But then when you ask people to put them on task, they get pissed. All right. Like the tenant said, she said, oh no, she didn't want you staying here because she was gonna stay in her ass. And I just kind of let her I didn't fight and I didn't do any of that, she said, but she got away with a lot of stuff in here, So that place was riddled with bullets back in like June or something like that. I mean, it should be record with Columbus Police Department. It's on Buellin, 1744 or 1774 by the way. If they got it on record, somebody reeled that mug with bullets. And what Yvonne Dyer did, she charged the tenant for it, but then she also put it in her home insurance claim. The tenant told me that for it. So she put her home insurance claim on. I mean, you ain't no landlord and you ain't no owner, but she's putting in insurance claims and doing all this stuff. I mean, what are you really doing? I mean, she's full of shit. So yeah, tenant done told it all, honey. You hear me? Tenant told it all. Yep. Tenant like the guy Nate does, so we ain't talking about here. She said he was a nice guy or whatever. He half-ass. He come in there and ninja rig up stuff and all that. But hey, if it works, I ain't never had no problem with that either. I got a maintenance man here that he be trying to half do stuff, but it works. It does okay. I don't cause no problems. So anyhow, yeah, that's your phone. And it was just complication after complication after complication with her. She just got pissed and she was like, I'm gonna go ahead and end this lease contract. You can't do that. That's not how it works. All right. So we were supposed to move in there. I think it was like July the 1st of 2021. Remember, Columbus Urban League had already sent $5,400 over there to her on June the 15th. So it was all paid for and everything. And we made preparations to move. We had everything. We had a moving truck. We had everything. And she kept saying, well, Nate can do this and Nate can do that. And this can be the walkthrough. And then this and that. We have all the texts. We have everything. All right. And she got pissed. And then she's like, lease termination and all this. I was like, don't do that because, she had already given me a key. All right. She already gave me the key to the bottom lock of the front door and the key to the side door. All right. She gave me those keys while that tenant was still living there. All right. Now, if I wasn't a trustworthy person, I could have easily just ran up in there, did anything I wanted to that tenant, robbed her, did anything I wanted to do, right? Well, Yvonne Dyer gave her her keys with her. Yes, she did. Okay. It's true. Okay. Yeah. So go look that one up. Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, 22CV 003339. There you go. You got a lot of cases that you can go look up and learn from. What else we got here? This is 2951 Hubbardton Place. This is what Karen Phipps covered up. This is what the tenants, the plaintiff in 22CV3620 was living in. This particular cabinet right here never was removed. Not it was in there at move-in. It was there throughout the entire tenancy. It was on the pictures for the city of Columbus, and the city of Columbus real1.gov had this picture. Michael Fasone seen this picture. Tierra Ross has seen this picture. City Council Zach Davison and Ms. Brown seen this picture. Channel 6 seen this picture. Yeah, everybody. Okay. Nobody did anything about it. They just let the tenants in there just be abused, right? Yeah, look at that. Oh wow, you see the incense burn? Somebody was in there burning incense. Look at this. So what kind of shit was really going on in this place? What is all of that, right? It was there. Here's more out of that refrigerator. It looked like brain matter. I told you that the man who came to finally remove that refrigerator, he said, it smells like old game. I said, what's that? He said, like old blood. So ain't no telling this could be a whole nother Jeffrey Dahmer case, honey. That tenant before could have been doing all kinds of ominous things in there. Look at that. That man said, that smells like blood. It smells like old blood. That's what the man said, okay? And I told you it smelled, oh my God, it was so cool. Anyways, yep. So that's that. This is that move in, okay, honey? Not too long after move in. There it is again, what I showed you. Yep. Let's see. That's about the lease renewal where they lied. They said we never did offer them to renew their lease. Now, so Rob Gravak at All County Neo Portfolio sent this. Now remember they had code violations in place, right? They said they wanted us to be out. You need to get out by May 31st. But remember, May 31st, this date right here was actually covered in the lease contractual agreement. This was already paid for. So they were harassing us. So see, will you be vacated from the property by the end of the day? This was a paid for date. There's harassment. You keep telling us to get out, get out, get out. And we don't have to get out. This is a paid for date. You can't tell someone to vacate, right? And file the eviction or do anything for 30 days after they haven't paid rent or something, right? See what they did? So they said they have vendors scheduled to come in June, okay? That's because they wanted the tenants to be out. They're gonna rehab the whole place and re-rent it, but they don't want to uphold their duty and do what the city told them to do with respect to the code violation. They rather retaliate and get you out, right? And keep harassing, intimidating, coercing, and threatening and all that, and causing serious and severe harms that Karen Phipps in 22 CP 3620, Ohio, right? Columbus, Ohio, Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, right? They don't like the fact that we know what we're doing, right? All right, so priority is for your entity to address the many city code violations in place in the current situation of the cabinet attached from the wall, okay? All right, so yeah, and so this is just basically for Todd Dillard. He no longer works there. This is just saying like there's been no attempts to remedy this. 30 days have lapsed. The property owner, you're just going through everything. Property management demanded tenant vacate prior to the lease in May 31st, 2021. Continually sent reminders for tenants to vacate by said date. Threatened to file eviction if tenants remain. The property owner nor property management would accept rental payment for the June 2021 or agree to mediate. Okay, this is when you go over this particular date when it automatically defaults to month, all right? Yeah, because the entire contract from May of 2021 to May of May of 2020 to May of 2020 to May of 2021 was covered. I already paid all that. All right. So the city of Columbus 311.gov had all the information. And there was a point where their actual portal was down and you had to submit emails, right? All right, tenants have no support in the city. The city supports slumlords and allows retaliation. All right. All right. So this is just basically saying, let's see. Oh, this is over. This is over at the disciplinary and council Supreme Court. All right. Because they have all the information as well. Okay. Yeah, we don't have a reason to lie. We don't lie. Okay. This is what they don't like. We have all these people try to intervene. Columbus Mediation, Ohio Attorney General, Impact. Yeah, that everybody was reaching out and all that was ignoring and all this type of stuff. Urban League did refer us over to legal aid for a consultation. They said they couldn't take the case because it was a complex case. They don't do like when you're a plaintiff so much. What they will do is more so when you are already down there and you're able to stay in the place and all that. They don't have the resources to just be fighting cases and stuff like that. They're trying to just do more of the homeless prevention type of thing. Pretty much that's what I got out of it. But the young lady did give some great information. Okay. Let's see. Is that everything? What's this? I already went over that one. Yeah. Thank you for the update. Well, okay. Yeah. This is just more down to up close. All right, that's just that. Let's see what else we got. Is that the end of this? Okay. Let's go back and see what else we got. Let's just type in. Let's type in. Let's see if we got any emails from her. Let's go down a long time ago. All right, here we go. This is back in okay, what's she doing with the paperwork? Okay, this is how we had to lock that garage door. Okay, we ain't gonna make this video so long. We'll come back with a part 2. That's how you had to lock it, because it was supposed to be, what's the name? It was supposed to be one of those things with a remote, all right, but it wasn't, and it never did ever lock. That was part of their code violation. That's that picture again. That was part of their code violations. All right, what's this? These are the moving repairs. This is what we sent here, right? Because you have to give notice. You have to give notice, and then you got to give time for them to fix it. And then when they don't fix it, okay, then you can go ahead and turn them into the city or do whatever, right? Okay, so we did our part, what we needed to do. What else we got here? So that's that. Let's see. Now, this is that agreement that, what's her name? Oh, shoot, what's her name? Okay. So basically, this went to Jonathan Ward, that was at Ohio Attorney General Tierra Ross. That she was assistant, what's the name? What do you call it? Attorney, prosecutor attorney at the time. It went to this person right here, the Attorney General. Yeah, and this is what their proposed agreement was that what's her name? Karen Phipps put in her judgment in Franklin County Court of Common Pleas 22CV 3620. This was at the Franklin County Municipal Court 21 CBG 20. It's 020-711, but whatever. Whoever wrote this did it wrong. What's his name? Hassan. So, but there was more after this. This is the agreement that we were placed under duress to sign, and everybody knew about it, right? And that when we brought that back up to the court's attention, that is what sparked them to reopen it and rehear the case. Okay, that is what Karen Phipps didn't want you to know. Todd Dillard, court liaison manager, he said, I submitted all of the information that was provided to me regarding the retaliation case complaint, provided the information to our city attorney for her review. And unfortunately, I've not been notified of the decision. I've included it, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. He did what he was supposed to do in that regard. All right. What's this? Oh, that's just a complaint. It looked like it's probably the actual complaint that was found in the court on that. Yeah. Yep. Yippity doo dah, right? Right. Okay. You should be able to go look at that. This is all this emotion. Okay, here's Michael Casson's review that he actually put on his own All County Neo Portfolio Property Management. Yeah, Michael Casson, he got his 5 stars there. He's like, they said, Rob, this was Rob. Rob and his team at All County run a tight ship and do an excellent job in managing their properties and taking care of their clients. I would recommend him to any owner that was in need of property management services. Okay, so when you write reviews, you're speaking from first person. All right, so Michael Casson, owner. All right, Michael Casson, owner. Michael Casson, attorney for Rob Brava, All County Neo Portfolio at 21 CV 020711, Franklin County Municipal Court, in EH 060439, Franklin County Municipal Court, in 22 CV 3620, Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Karen Phipps, deprivation of rights, right? All right, so yeah. Here's that. What else was it here? Was there something else in here? These were the interrogatories that were actually sent over there to them. These interrogatories that were written would basically, I mean, it's a hands down one case for the tenants, and they don't ever want anything like this, on the docket or on a case law for anybody, right? So these are the interrogatories that were actually written for them to answer. Okay. Yes, we absolutely did write these. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Because if they fill these out and they answer them or they're not truthful about it and you prove it otherwise in court, and it's just a whole lot of shit, right? So yeah, we did write these. We wrote this ourselves. We did all of this ourselves. Yes, we did that. Absolutely. All right. Yeah. So so hopefully it's beginning to make a little bit of sense. Look, right here. Good. I had to chuck in the over. Okay. So we'll just plead our case to you. Right. Yeah. It says I have no choice but to defend my family in this matter, and we do not qualify for legal aid with the initiation of my new job. Right, and also not only that, legal aid did actually say they're not able to take a case on like this, but they did advise, all right? And they gave them some resources and all this type of stuff. All right, now there's a motion to compel right here because they're trying to be funny, and Karen Phipps said no and all that. I mean, anyhow, I done said this shit 100 times, right? I done said it 100 times. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, that Karen Phipps is something else. Here is another post talking about on County Mia. Is saying that these property management companies are, how you say that? I don't know, perversion, I don't know. Nameless, faceless, nickel and dime artists, liars and slumlords, all county, Northeast Ohio property management, one of them. You send your rent in early, they hold the check and charge you late fees and then cash it one day after that. That's just one example, and they just get away with it. How people sleep at night with things they do for money is beyond me. Exactly, exactly. Okay, when's somebody going to investigate it? And I provided this to Tierra Ross and all this type of stuff. Right. So let's see. So yeah, just basically, damn, how many times did I give him that? He probably called them and had them take it down. No, he did. What's this? It already take that. I don't know. Yeah, so here's some more people that had the awareness, right? Michael Casson, he's on here. Tierra Ross, Todd Dillard, right? Yeah. Yep. They shut the water off on us. That's what I was telling you before as well. The water company was basically saying like, unfortunately, they don't get involved in landlord tenant disputes. So with this particular thing, the tenants could have easily paid their water bill and stuff like that, but it's actually up to the landlord to submit the appropriate form over to the utility company to have the bill sent in the name. But essentially, it's always going to be the landlord's responsibility. The water company's not going to hold the tenant responsible, but he never did what he was supposed to do. And because he never did, he was supposed to be paying that. He never did. All right. Anyhow, the water was actually cut off. Let's see. Trying to just see what else. Yeah, it's just how we try not to have the water shut off at risk for homelessness and all of this type of stuff. Telling them, hey, there's no rent due. So they're like, you need to let the city know, like the city already does. Okay. Yep, so this is just it. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. That I wanted you to be aware of. Let them know that they were trying to retaliate. That was that deal from back then. David is the guy's name from the water company that had outreach and tried to get back in contact with David. I was trying to look and see. Basically just a thread of the same old thing and let them know everything's been paid and what he was supposed to do. And just nobody really cared. Nobody really cared, guys. Okay, nobody does at all. To be honest, nobody does. All right. So that's a tactic that they do anyway. They're trying to cut the water off for you. All right. This is to these people: Cassandra Spurlock, Dillard, Okay, want to know like any updates on retaliation paperwork. Saying like there's been a case against Christian for kindness report. All right. And nobody is saying anything. Nobody is responding. Right? Nobody is responding. All right. Somebody must have got in their ear and said, be quiet. I don't know. It's just crazy. Okay. All right. This was another person from the water company. Yeah, and so what was happening too, because we weren't the one to get the bill, the bills were going out there to him, so we never knew anything. We never knew anything, all right, at all. All right, all this shit was just we never knew that what the water bill was. It was the same he was paying it, but we never got one or nothing. Because they don't have to send the bill to you. They send it to the property. All right, so this is from Tierra Ross. All right, Tierra Ross sent that to me and Todd Dillon. All right, my name is Tierra Ross. I prosecute all retaliatory eviction claims for our office. I'm sorry to learn the difficulties you're having with your landlord. I'm copying Todd Dillon, who works with it. Blah 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 blah. Okay, you can pause and read it. Okay, basically. All right. She never provided any updates or nothing like that. So I'll let her know. Basically, we got everything. I could put the videos and all that on CD if she wanted it like that. All right. I'm asking her, I'm asking about what's going on with that code violation case when they didn't do anything. Okay? I was talking about the online service request that are actually public record, and they started back in June 2020. All right. I'm just, trying to figure out what's really going on. And this I actually was sending to 6 on your side to get some awareness. Okay. So this was a voicemail that was left by Chris Clark it's from the city attorney's office, talking about this is 2951 Hubbardton, okay? And so please give him a call back. And we'll talk about the issues with coding for, they wanted to access the interior and do all this. This is already after they've already been in there twice and taking pictures and doing all this bullshit. I don't know what they were trying to do. Doesn't look as bad as the inside, okay? Well, yeah, you know about this, okay? The retaliation, whatever that Tierra has, you've made Miss Ross. It's a separate process, and I know it's frustrating how long it takes. And you see, they have complete awareness. You understand that? But this is what Karen Phipps didn't want you to know. She didn't want us to get anything for our harms. Yeah, we already showed you that. We already showed you that. That was this. Yeah, these are the cases. I mean, this is everything. It's all linked. The EVH case is environmental cases. EVH 06439 Frederick County Municipal Court. This is the retaliatory eviction, CBG 0207111. Yep, and then 22CV 3620, Frederick County Court of Common Pleas, Karen Phipps, deprivation of rights case. What's this? Okay, that's just basically the same thing. We showed you these cabinets. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Yeah. They didn't want us to. These are harm. We don't know what type of health conditions we might end up with after exposure to this. But the city of Columbus acting like they give a damn about a tenant. Okay. What's this? Oh yeah, that's just that. The retaliation paper that they give you. The city gives that to you, and they think something's going on. I already showed you that. Is that it? Is that it for there? All right, so this is Tierra Ross, okay? That's an attorney. She CC Stephen Dunbar, okay? I don't know who he is. And she said, listen, the papers have been received. I believe the packet is currently waiting for my review at code this Friday. You should have a response from me within a few days of my review. She never did respond. She never did say anything. Okay, I'm like, so what's going on? I said, hey, I noticed that the governor's office was submitted today to ensure this matter is not swept under the rug, as most retaliation cases are against tenants. All right, what's this? We already showed you that one. What's this? All right, so this one here, I just went a little bit further. Now, this is where he actually admitted to submitting to his insurance company a false date of incident, right? So he said, okay, thank you. I said, I sent the videos. This was the leak. I sent the videos. They will probably have to be visualized. Let's say have to visualize and walk on the floor that's falling in. I'm not at home right now. It looks like it could be the furnace leak, and I don't know. A professional should inspect and evaluate. He said, okay, thank you. They will come and take a look. Just remember, the leaking should not be continuous for a long time and mold. And he knows exactly what he's doing, right, Commissioner Quadratada? If you tell them there is mold, insurance policy does not cover the mold. I put the incident date as 7 August, just to tell them. I said, just tell them you noticed the leak on that day. That was a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. Okay, he's a liar. All right. All right. Yeah, and all of that was updated. I mean, we uploaded to the what's the name? For the docket. Fair housing complaint. Now that fair housing complaint actually went to, I think it was Columbus Urban League. All right. That's just, oh, I had to send everything over to the library to print. Yeah. So this is just saying, hey, all county Neo are my cousin's friends, and he does personal business with them. Some business interest exists. He gave him a 5-star review on the business page, recommend their service. He's biased, all this. I mean, they know what's going on, right? They know exactly. And nobody ever did anything. Basically, what they did do though is refer us over to legal aid. This was to Chris Clark over there, just saying I got your message, just telling what's going on. Yeah. The magistrate was jumped. It was magistrate jump. So another attorney told me that wasn't a judge, it's actually a magistrate. Be quiet. As you can see here, Christopher Clark. Okay. Coerced me into signing an agreement under duress, right? Yeah. So they knew everything, right? And so did Karen Phipps. Okay, so did Karen Phipps, but they act like they don't know anything. Here's some more people. And Miss Brown, right? Maybe getting emails and stuff like that. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody cares. It's Tia Ross. That's what she said. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just, we just got to come on to let you know. This is all county, telling us to make sure everything is clean. Like these people, all county property management, they came on board again after this contractual agreement was signed. They never seen this place ever in life. They never stepped foot inside here. Okay, we was already inside there. They don't know nothing. The bathroom wasn't clean when we moved there, nor the toilet, nor the tub, the sink, medicine cabinet, vanity, wall, floor, towels. There was no real electricity in there any damn way. Everything was dirty. The floors, the walls, the ceilings, the windows, all of it. The window seals. Shit didn't lock anyway. So what are you talking about? Nothing was clean in any type of storage bed. The premises was already damaged and beyond normal wear and tear at move-in. It was only given one key anyway. Look at this, security deposits. Never, ever, ever gave us a security deposit back. We didn't owe them 1 cent or dime. By the time we would have got over to 22 CB 36020 with Karen Phipps revoked our right. Basically, yeah, never gave it back. They would have owed 3 times. Yeah. Yeah. So it was closed here with other termination. This is the point of that agreement. This is where Karen Phipps stopped with what she wrote in her summary judgment. What she didn't do is show the dates where it was actually reopened. It was reopened after this because we notified the court, right? We notified the court of the duress, right? Okay, friend. County, honestly, court, please. All right, let's see. Let's go to here. Oh no, we want to do municipal court. Here's the site if you want to go look up stuff. That's not what we want. We actually want. Oops. I don't know if this may be too long for YouTube or not. I don't want it to be too long. I'm gonna cut it and come back. Let's look this up real quick. Let's look this up real quick. Let's see. Let's type in Let me type in Christian for retaliation. Right. This is the environmental case, right? That the city of Columbus brought post tenant complaint, right? But this is what they brought against him and all kind of, they brought it against all these people, right? There's all kind of, property management, Rock, the manager, right? You got Michael Bassoon on here and everything like that. You see Christopher Blard, you see all that. So basically what they were doing, they filed a case and all this type of stuff, but they kept continuing it over and over and over and over because they knew that they were retaliating. They weren't going to do anything to them. They just got to make it look good for the public, right? They got to make it look good for the public and make it think that they're doing something, but they're really not doing anything. You go look the case up. So it was terminated. We were out with the bond by doing. So that's what they do. They just play around like they're going to do something and they don't ever do shit. This particular case actually exists because a tenant exercised their right to complain to a governmental agency about condition dwellings. Code violations were issued. They deliberately and intentionally ignored them. So that's why the city brought the case. Okay, but they never did anything. Right, and that was on purpose. Okay, yeah, that was on purpose. So let's look up. Let's see, 21 CV 02071. Let's see if we can find it like that. Let's see if we can find it like this. If we can find it, let's see if we can find it. There we go. 02071. All right. All right. So let's go down here. Okay. So, all right. Here's the other termination. This is where the agreement happened. This is where the agreement happened. This is where Karen Phipps stopped in 22 CV 77, 22 CV 3620. All right. So then we filed a motion to vacate that judgment. And then that's when we had to tell in the memorandum of support right here, everything. We had to say, listen, this is retaliation. Tierra Ross has this. Michael Casson actually participated in coercion and threat. He sent us a message saying you need to retract the true report of fraud and all of that to the insurance company of this person, or I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna file on you to get out. And we had to let them know we got this whole stalker and everything like that, right? So then the case was reopened and it was assigned to Judge James Green. All right. He actually heard the case. They went and they tried to file, I'm not going to get out. So the hearing was scheduled. All right. James Green. Okay. All right. He heard the case there. Dismiss without prejudice. Agreed dismissal without prejudice. That means you can go ahead and bring over in common pleas, right? Judge Green asked Michael Casson and Ralph Bob, do you have a case against the defendants? He said no. All right, but what did he tell? Why would it be dismissed without prejudice? Without prejudice means the counterclaim can be brought over in common pleas, and that's exactly what we did. Well, Alex Castle in 22 CV 3620, he wrote in his brief that this here must have been an error. This must have been a journal entry error. That's what he said. It wasn't. Okay. No, it wasn't. All right. Yeah. So, just a bunch of lies. Just a bunch of lies. Okay. So it was actually dismissed without prejudice. So that means it was not adjudicated on the merit. And actually we put, what's his name? Judge Green. We put him on the witness disclosure list. Okay. That's what we did. What's this? I provided pictures, all of that. Okay. Yeah. So All County, New York, it is or should be public record, but who knows with this corrupt city, okay? It's just a bunch of bull. But you have the information. Okay, all right. Go back. Where was that? Just had something. I don't know what I mean. With Sandra Spurlock, all that. So we wanted to know from all these people, Sandra Spurlock. I mean, everybody. This is a city council person right here. Okay, this is a city council person right here. Okay, we said that all this to everyone. They all know. They all know. Yeah, we want to know. We want to know what's really going on. We detail everything. Everything. Okay. So you have to put the public record requests in. They actually did give the public records. Here's all of them that they sent. See, those are public records. You can go get them public records too if you like. Yeah, you can. What's this? Oh, this is what we sent back to that guy. He said this lady and nuts. So you sent that to me like an ignorant individual. All right. So we'll come back with another video. All right, we just want to make sure. I didn't mean to say that. Make sure you have some insight on what's going on, and you absolutely can go and request these public records. All right, let me just open up one. Yeah, see, it details everything. All right, it details everything. Okay, it tells you what's going on. What was this one about? Okay, this is just basically saying I'm requesting inspection, blah blah blah. Property remains in disrepair. Post a 30-day notice to property owner. The flooring in the laundry room is rotted, molded, pulling. I don't know what. Well, I don't know what that. I didn't even say that. And leaks still exist from an unknown source. Property owner was aware and sent an email stating he could not help me. Please send to the city code enforcement. All right. What are you doing? Yeah. This is all public record. Anybody can go and look at this. All right. We're talking about how everything had been paid in advance, what really was going on. Let's look at one. Let's look at one more. Let's see. Please provide update on 2951 Hubbardton Place. As one of the tenants, I too have notified your offices of the unaddressed repairs and retaliation for complaining to governmental agencies. I complained in written form back in June of 2020. The same issues persist. No one is providing updates on the overdue violations, and Tierra Ross has retaliation paperwork and evidence with additional documentation from my mother. Please update on, so this investigator has it, okay? The housing violations that were cited have been referred to the Franklin County Environmental Court. Please see 2021. Okay, but they're not talking about the retaliation. Okay, retaliation, and this is what was at issue in the counterclaim that was pretty much just rebrought as a complaint over the common pleas by the plaintiff, and that's what Karen Phipps did. Okay. This should go to BZS and code enforcement. All right. So, yeah. So, this is just, right. So this one says, yeah. The tenants that have reported property owner and property managed back in June to the city via email when home inspections were banned, and continually since then code violations were issued, and it has been over 4 months, and the owner and property management have done nothing. They retaliated against the tenant. Retaliation paperwork is with Tierra Ross, city attorney, and she ignores requests for update. Why? All right. You see all these people have the information. All right. But nobody wants to talk about it. Okay. And what's her name? Karen Phipps. She revoked the right. Right. This went to somebody named Jody Young. Okay. So yeah, this is the type of stuff that they do, even when you pay your rent. So, yeah. It's crazy. And yeah, so this is where they're talking about the city ordinance, actually it's unconstitutional. Let's see if we have anything, from Kasum in here. He actually sent, that document. Let's see if we can find it. I was trying to see this. What is this? Oh, that's a, I was trying to see where that, this actually here was sent over to the Civil Rights of Ohio, and everybody has a copy of it. Um, yeah, so the Ohio Civil Rights Commission was supposed to reconsider this housing complaint. And actually it was fair housing complaint. It actually was approved, but they never did do anything about it, just so you know. They never did do anything about it. Okay. They never investigated anything. Yeah. So this is it right here. And it actually was approved. This is the thing to be reinvestigated. They never did anything. They just, everything just disappeared because it was swept under the rug, people. Okay. So just know what the truth is. That's it. And that's all. Let's see. I wanted to show you that case. Let's see if I can just type in like ERB. Let's see. Oh yes. Okay. Here's Michael Casson. All right. So this is my outreach at. Oh my God. This is my outreach asking. Just sit there and read that for 1 second. Hopefully this is not too long. All right. I'll be right back. Yeah.
This is about the free phone.
Oh, yes. Okay. I think he. Oh, so what he needs to do is tell them like, you already tell them everything. You say that one was stolen and lost. I don't know where that is. Okay. Let me find my purse. I think he might need my. Okay. Thank you for hanging in for the intermission. Did you get you some popcorn? Did you get your restroom break out the way? All right. All right. So what are we talking about here? Let's see. Oh, so we was getting ready to show you where, and this is Tierra Ross, okay? Everybody's on the thread, all right? Michael Brown is on there, Zachary Davison, Chris Clark, Todd Dillon, Sandra Spurlock, 301.gov in general is all on here, okay? From Tierra Ross to all of us, right? She said your retaliation claim is still under review, including any new documentation you sent to 311 and or the code enforcement. Currently, the constitutionality of the city ordinance is being challenged, and we are awaiting an order from the court to determine whether or not we continue to prosecute under the current order. All right, so we're gonna put this on Twitter, actually. There we go. Okay. So anyhow, that fiscal arguments before the environmental court were held at the beginning of this month. It's my hope we'll have an answer from the court rather sooner or later. In the interim, continue to review the cases, but have made the decision to hold off on filing new charges until further blah 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 blah. Okay, this is on blah 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 blah. Right. So now they have some new initiative out here. So hopefully they'll go ahead and bring this charge now. Okay. We're going to see retaliation, right? Where my rights were revoked. We're going to put that out on Twitter. That's what we're going to do. Okay, but anyways, here's Michael Casone. All right, there's Michael Casone. Oh no, this is Tierra Ross. She also said the applicable ordinance. Okay, these are both. This is the case right here. Okay, she attached the relevant motions here. Right. Okay, this is what she provided. She provided this. She provided it. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. All right, that's what she's fighting. That's what she was fighting. Right. This is Steinman. All right, so this is the Thyman case, the city versus Thyman. All right, and they challenged it, right? Okay, they did. Okay. Anyways, long story short, these are the things right here. Boom and boom. It was actually found unconstitutional. Let's go back and we will show you. What did I just find? See that? Okay, Miss Clark. All right, where's concern at? Where is his? Let's see. Oh, this was a stalker. That person was stalking us. Yeah, we don't know who that is, but that is on the record. So there it is too. Okay, this is where we lived over here. This is my car over here. This person right here was just stalking us, sitting over there, points cars on the other side of the street, facing the opposite direction of what the traffic flow should be, just sitting there and staring over here, harassing and bothering us. Yeah, that's what they did. That's on there. Karen Phipps, honey. Karen Phipps, yeah. So yeah, you know it. That's what they do. That's what they do. Yeah. So okay, here's Michael Casone here, and he's basically saying, you know, just so there's no confusion, the Columbus City Code section you referenced has been ruled unconstitutional. Please see the attached. So here it is. All right. Right. That's per Michael Casone. But now they're saying everything good to go, right? So they should be bringing this this particular case. All right. Yes, they should. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna leave this one up because we gotta go put that out on Twitter. We want everybody to know stuff because we want to know. Because yeah, we gotta make sure that everybody in the world knows that that the city knew about this. This is actually not okay. Okay, this actually happened to me and my family. And I really do have an autistic grandchild here I'm trying to take care of. All right, I really do have a mentally vulnerable son that had a first psychotic break, went into complete psychosis and delirium. I'm trying to deal with that. I'm not trying to bother anybody. I'm trying to just live my life with basic needs. I'm very frugal. I just want to live in a safe and habitable place. I just want to be left alone. I don't want to fucking with my job and my livelihood. I'm trying to serve vulnerable populations, patients and stuff like that. I'm trying to get my own community thing going so I can really genuinely serve people I'm not able to be served. you know, and it's just, this what really happens to people who speak up and speak out and stuff like this, so. It's really crazy. I don't understand why people get mad at folks that just bring the awareness and yeah. I will come back, but right now I gotta go out on Twitter and put some of this stuff too. So we're always gonna bring the awareness. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah. All right. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for tuning in if you took the time to look. Mhm. Yeah. Stop sharing. I actually want to, we want to, how do I get it to pull down? There we go. We want to stop the recording first. All right, see you soon. I'll come back with another video.